All right, everyone, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to decode one of the most fundamental professional competencies in business, the strategic thinking behind a product. We're moving way past textbook definitions here to get into how managers actually conceive, build, and defend products in a really competitive market.
Okay, let's dive into this with a question that honestly gets right to the heart of marketing strategy. I want you to think about a massive North Carolina employer like Bank of America. Yeah, on the surface, they sell financial services. But is that it? Is that really it? Or are they selling security, trust, maybe the dream of a first home? This is the strategic mindset we're developing today, learning to see the product that exists beyond the product itself.
So, we've got a clear path ahead of us. We're going to start with the essential framework for understanding any product. Then, we'll follow its journey through the market. After that, we'll get into the real magic, creating genuine brand power. And we'll wrap it all up with how that brand comes to life in the tangible experience a customer actually has.
All right, let's get down to business. First up, the product framework. This is the absolute foundation for everything else we're going to talk about. And trust me, if you don't get this part right, none of the fancy high-level strategy is going to work. You know, every product really has three layers. First, you've got the core benefit, what the customer is actually buying. For a car, it's just transportation, right? Then you have all the supplemental features, the extras like a great warranty or Apple CarPlay. And finally, and this is so important, there's that emotional connection, the symbolic benefit, like the feeling of success or freedom that brand gives.
So what's the first big strategic fork in the road for any product? Well, it's all about who's buying it and why. Think about it. Are you picking up groceries at Salisbury-based Food Line for dinner tonight? That's a consumer product. Easy. But is a corporation buying powerful analytics software from the SAS Institute over in Cary to drive massive business decisions? That's a business product. That one single distinction changes your entire marketing playbook.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit. A company's product mix is, well, it's basically everything it sells. We measure it in two key ways. Width, which is how many different product lines you offer, and depth, which is the number of variations you have within each of those lines. This isn't just vocabulary, you guys. This is a powerful tool for portfolio management.
Now this slide, this is a brilliant map of a corporate empire in action. I mean, just look at Procter & Gamble. The width is right there, clear as day, across the top. Fabric care, oral care, and so on. Then look down. The massive number of individual brands in each column. Tide, Gain, Crest, Oral-B. That's the depth. What you're looking at is a visual representation of total market domination.
So let's make this real. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a marketing manager at Lowe's headquarters, right down the road in Mooresville. Your task for the day is to map their product mix. So, what are the major product lines that define your width? Appliances, lumber, paint? And what about the depth? Just try to imagine the sheer number of different drills or refrigerators they offer. That right there, that's the strategic landscape you have to manage.
Now that we have the blueprint, let's talk about a product's life. Because, products aren't static things. They're born, they grow, and eventually they fade away. Understanding this journey is absolutely the key to managing them for long-term profit. Every single product goes through this life cycle, from introduction all the way to decline. The crucial point here for any strategist is that your goals, your budget, and your marketing tactics, they have to change, and change dramatically at each stage. You just don't market a brand new product the same way you manage a 50-year-old cash cow. It doesn't work.
So while the product is on its journey, your customer is on one too. How do you actually get someone to buy your new product? Well, you have to guide them, step by step through these 5 stages. You can't just ask for the sale right away. You have to build awareness, spark their interest, and help them see exactly why your product is the right choice for them.
Okay, now let's talk about the magic of branding. A product, that's just an item made in a factory. But a brand? A brand is what lives inside the customer's mind. It's what they are truly willing to pay a premium for. This right here is where real, sustainable value is created. Brand equity is the actual financial value of a brand. It's a real asset on the balance sheet, and it's built on these 4 pillars. People need to know you exist. That's awareness. They need to believe you're good. That's quality. They need to connect your brand with positive ideas like innovation or safety. Those are your associations. And ultimately, they need to keep coming back. That's loyalty.
So, how loyal are your customers really? Are they just aware of your brand as one of the options? Do they kind of prefer it, but, they'd switch if something else is on sale? Or are they diehard fans who will accept no substitute? The strategic imperative is to move every customer you have up this ladder, all the way to brand insistence. That, my friends, is true brand power.
Now, there are two main strategic plays for naming your products. You can give each one its own distinct name, like P&G does with Tide and Crest. That isolates your risk if one product fails. Or you can put them all under one family name, leveraging the parent brand's reputation. Just look at the recent merger that created Truist Financial. They chose a family branding strategy to unite all their services under one powerful new identity.
And let's be crystal clear, this is not some abstract marketing concept. This is about generating staggering financial value. Just look at these numbers. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars. So think about it. Where would a North Carolina-based global technology firm like Honeywell or a financial giant like Bank of America even fit into a landscape like this? The scale is just immense.
All right, let's bring all this high-level strategy down to earth, down to the stuff you can actually touch and feel. How does a brand actually show up on the shelf? Well, it all comes down to two things: packaging and labeling.
You know, packaging is so much more than just a box. It's your product's first impression, its silent salesperson, and its bodyguard, all rolled into one. In just a split second on a crowded shelf, it has to communicate everything your brand stands for. You should never, ever underestimate its power.
So, how can you use packaging to your strategic advantage? Well, here are a few classic plays from the playbook. You can alter a package to refresh a brand. You could design it for a second use to add value. Or you could make it super innovative to just disrupt the whole category. As a manager at a company like Hanesbrands, any one of these moves could give you a serious competitive edge.
And finally, we have the label. This is your last chance to talk to your customer right before they make a choice. It's where you have to be clear, informative, and totally trustworthy, all while making sure you're complying with all the legal requirements from agencies like the FDA and the FTC.
So what's the bottom line here? It's that a product is never just a product. It's a complex bundle of benefits. And to win, you have to strategically manage, brand, and package that bundle better than anyone else. This isn't just theory. This is a professional competency you'll use in your careers, whether that's here in the Appalachian region or anywhere else in the world. Now, I'm going to leave you with one final strategic challenge. I want you to apply every single principle we've covered today to the most important product you will ever manage in your entire life, your own career. How will you define your core benefit? How are you going to build your personal brand equity? And how will you package your skills to win in the job market? Think about it.